Take back home court advantage. This is the Hoops Nerd post-game show. All right, guys, before we get started, before we say anything, I just want to say rest in peace, Mark Eaton. He was one of the best men, former Jazz players, just an all-time great for the Jazz, an incredible person. It honestly broke my heart with that news tonight, and I'm so happy that Rudy Gobert played tonight. He had a quote after the game where he said he felt Mark Eaton's presence. Honestly, you just pray and thoughts go out for Mark Eaton's family. That was a big time loss. He was a big time, literally big time presence in Utah. He did so many things. He was just a kind person. I wanted to say, if you ever were lucky enough to be close to the court for a Jazz game, you probably got to go to that buffet before the game. Welcome to the channel, Cecil. And you would see 7'4" Mark Eaton walking around, saying hi to people, patting people on the back. He was just the kindest guy ever, and just a class act. And it's really a bummer that he's gone. Rest in peace, Mark Eaton. You'll never find a better person out there and a better former player for the Jazz. Just a sad thing. All right, let's talk about the Jazz. Memphis Grizzlies. Before we talk about the Jazz, let's talk about the Memphis Grizzlies. Guys, this team is, they are young. They are exciting. Ja Morant is as exciting a prospect as we've seen in a long while. But I think tonight we saw a little bit of the youth showing for the Memphis Grizzlies. Game 2, Utah came out with Donovan Mitchell showing up and came out big time, and the Memphis Grizzlies looked a little shell-shocked. They looked a little surprised with the ferocity that Mitchell came out with, the sound of the crowd, all these things. And, tonight you saw a little bit of that youth from the Memphis Grizzlies. You had guys making mistakes. There were big-time mistakes tonight made by Jaren Jackson Jr., who has not really had a very good series. Tonight, Jaren Jackson was 3 for 11 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3. He did have 9 rebounds. He had a big-time rebound at the end of the game against Rudy Gobert, a big-time offensive rebound. But he also had 5 personal fouls, and he had one just terrible offensive foul against Royce O'Neal at the end of regulation. Those are the types of plays that lose you games. When you're in a big-time playoff matchup, you've got, just everything's on the line. Every possession matters. Making a big-time offensive foul where you just kind of collide into Royce O'Neal, that loses you games, and that's a sign of youth. Other guys that really struggled tonight for the Memphis Grizzlies. Kyle Anderson was 5 for 13. He's had a big series in terms of steals. He had I can't remember it was in game 1, 7 steals, but tonight, just 1 for 5, 5 for 13 from the field. Just not good enough. Dylan Brooks had a really rough night, 11 for 24 from the field, 1 for 7 from 3. Just not very good. And then Ja Morant came down to earth a little bit, 10 for 23 from the field, 2 for 7 from 3. He did have 7 assists, though, and 7 assists, 28 points. And you've got to give it credit to the Memphis Grizzlies. They really fought in this one, and I actually felt like they came out as a tougher overall team. They were just playing hard, just going at the Jazz hard. One way you can see that is the Memphis Grizzlies tonight. Total field goal attempts, they took 100 shots tonight, compared to the Jazz 81. They had 19 more shots than the Utah Jazz. And let's just check out their offensive rebounds. For the Memphis Grizzlies, 16 offensive rebounds, only 7 for the Jazz. Maxwell, welcome to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. That right there is effort, and I don't know if that's youthful exuberance or if that's just the Jazz needing to step it up a little bit, because it just felt like the Jazz could not defensive rebound for the life of them. 36 defensive rebounds, 34 for the Grizzlies, but then you look at that, 16 offensive rebounds for the Grizzlies, and they took 19 more shots, and the Jazz still won this game. If that doesn't tell you how good Rudy Gobert is, that a team can take that many more shots than the Jazz and still lose, I don't know. It might be a small worrisome thing for the Jazz if they can't defensive rebound better. When they go up against a better team that can shoot the ball better than the Grizzlies, that's, if the Jazz win this series, that's a little scary. So Utah needs to figure out how to rebound the ball. Holy smokes. But all credit to the Memphis Grizzlies and their offensive rebounding. The effort tonight from the Grizzlies was impressive. Guess what? Their crowd was a little louder than the Jazz's crowd, I felt like, too. What's up with the Jazz crowd? Be louder. Or maybe it's the TV. Maybe it's because ESPN plays the crowd noise better. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, guys. Was the Jazz crowd not as loud as the Memphis crowd, even with more people? Is the Jazz crowd getting gentrified? What's going on? Are ticket prices getting too high? What's going on? What's going on? Let's figure it out. Robert Hall, $1.99. Thank you, Robert. Bye, Brooks. This is what happens when you punch MC. That's right. Dylan Brooks is a villain. Someone put up a wanted poster for that guy because he was committing crimes against the Jazz and Mike Conley. Evidence will be presented in court once he's found, all right? Once he's found. All right. Breaking news. Breaking news. This important PSA is brought to you by Manscaped.com. This is your pubic surface announcement, and the news you've all been waiting for. The Manscaped engineering team has confirmed that they have successfully created the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, which is now available for purchase in the USA and Canada. This new trimmer was just released only moments ago. We've talked about it a month though, but that's okay. And we are one of the first to get our hands on it and share the news. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code HoopsNerd at manscaped.com. I'm one of the first people to try the new 4.0, and I'm blown away by the performance, the craftsmanship, and details on the 4.0 for the next level. That's what they tell me to read, but it's actually true. I use it all the time. It's one of my favorite things. I actually really love it. It has changed my life. Manscaped changed my life. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code HoopsNerd at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code HoopsNerd. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with manscaped.com. Come on, guys. Improve your ball handling. Become a baller with Manscaped. All right, shall we talk about the Jazz? Let's talk about the Utah Jazz. Donovan Mitchell is absolutely incredible. We'll talk about Donovan Mitchell. Tonight, he plays 29 minutes instead of the 25. I wonder if the 25 minutes is the minute restriction. I'm not sure, but we needed him to play every single minute. 9 for 23, but those 9 field goals made, he went 2 for 10 from 3, but the 2 threes he made were monster. End of the game, Jazz on the ropes. Donovan Mitchell pulls up big time like he always does, and just was magnificent at the end of the game. It's so nice to have a closer like him. Basketball. Is your name Basketball? Thank you, sir, for subscribing to the channel. So anyways, 2 for 10 from Donovan Mitchell, but that's okay because guess what? 2 for 10 from 3. He was a +8 for the game. Now, people who only read box scores may say, how's that? Why is that? Why is that, sir? Wow, your wins above replacement player and your V wins over the RPMs to the win shares of the 9th defensive degree. How does that happen? Guess what? When Donovan Mitchell is on the floor, it bends the defense. Everyone is better when Donovan Mitchell's on the floor. That's why he's a +8 when he's on the court. They have to account for him at all times, and they will change their defense just to guard him. That's why his percentages will go down. But guess what that does? That means that someone like Mike Conley is getting secondary defenders. Now, Mike Conley was magnificent tonight. Mike Conley, 8 for 16 from the field, 7 for 10 from 3, 70%. That is absolute flames from Mike Conley. Unreal. But guess what? Because Donovan Mitchell's on the floor, it creates the flow of the offense. It puts everyone in their rightful position on the floor and their positioning where they need to be, and it changes everything. That's how it works. Having your best guy on the floor makes everyone else's job easier. Austin R. Grant, $4.99. Man, thank you, sir. Austin, editor extraordinaire. Donovan is a cold-blooded killer. That's right. Memphis should be grateful he's not 100% for the series would be 3-0. Absolutely. Absolutely, Austin. Correct are you. If that health employee doesn't hold Donovan Mitchell out, guess what? It's a 3-0 series. Easily. You're 100% correct, Austin. Absolutely. Because Donovan Mitchell's on the floor, it makes everyone else's job easier. Tonight, the Jazz had two guys have just a... Mike Conley had a monster night tonight. And Jazz got actually a pretty good, nice night from Royce O'Neal, who was 4 for 7 from 3. You had a nice night from Bojan Bogdanovic. A good enough night, really. 15 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. He shot 2 for 3 from 3, which is fantastic. 4 for 8 from the field. He hit some big, he had a little stretch where he scored 8 points in a row. Bojan did. And it was really nice. But guess what? That's because he's playing against lesser defenders, guys. That's the effect of Donovan Mitchell. So Donovan Mitchell can have a shooting night tonight where he goes 2 for 10 from 3 or 9 for 23 from the field. Obviously, that's not ideal. And Donovan Mitchell this year has been putting up insane numbers, and it's why he's a top 15, top 20 player, is because he can put up big-time numbers even as the primary option. But even if he doesn't have a super efficient night like he did tonight, it makes things easier for everyone else. Bojan Bogdanovic gets easier shots, shoots 2 for 3 from 3. Royce O'Neal gets wide open shots, and he's all of a sudden shooting with confidence, by the way. 4 for 7 from 3. Mike Conley, 8 for 16 from the field, 7 for 10 from 3. All of this in Dillon Brooks' face. Your punches, your dirtiness. You might as well go to the launderer because it meant nothing because Mike Conley's shot was clean tonight, despite the dirt that Dillon Brooks tried to throw on him. 8 assists from Mike Conley. He was the player of the game, really. 27 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Just monster stuff from Mike Conley. He's been phenomenal. But guess what? They got that night from Mike Conley. Mitchell's not super efficient, but still bends the defense. We had 2 new subscribers. Talmadge, I missed the other one. I'm sorry. Thank you for subscribing. But the Jazz had a night from Joe Ingles, who was just kind of dreadful, to be honest. Joe Ingles had 3 points. He was 1 for 4 from the field. He had 2 turnovers. Joe Ingles was terrible tonight, and the Jazz won despite it. Derek Favors played 12 minutes. He was a -4. Derek Favors has actually been really solid in this series, so I'm not going to rag on Derek Favors. Jordan Clarkson started off not too great, but then he hit 2 big threes. 2 for 7 from 3, 5 for 11 from the field, 15 points from Jordan Clarkson. If Jordan Clarkson starts hitting that 3, this Jazz team becomes really scary. I really want Jordan Clarkson to keep doing what he's doing. It feels like he's taking the most efficient shots now that Donovan Mitchell's back. Another reason why Donovan Mitchell helps, because guess what? 21 minutes of Jordan Clarkson tonight. His efficiency wasn't incredible, but it was good enough. 5 for 11 from the field, 2 for 7 from 3, and 3 for 3 from the free throw line. He actually had 2 blocks. Clarkson's had a few blocks this game where you're like, holy smokes. Actually pretty awesome. 15 points, but that bench unit tonight wasn't too great for Utah. It was the starters that really carried them. And Rudy Gobert, Rudy Gobert is like the Borg in Star Trek, where people come at Rudy Gobert and eventually he just kind of figures them out. He figures them out and he assimilates. He absorbs them like that silver guy in Terminator 2. And then he just slices you. And at the end of the game, he won the game. By the way, let's see. Zintas, one of our all-stars, baby. Zintas rises up and hammers it down. $10, Zintas. I appreciate it so much. Get Audrey more doggy treats at Winco, James. Zintas, thank you. Audrey will get more doggy treats. I promise you this. We'll get her a nice bone with that. But thank you, Zintas. I really appreciate it. Very, very much. Andrew Streeter, $4.99. Andrew, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If Royce doesn't hesitate to shoot open looks, Jazz are going to the finals. I agree. Big time comment there, Andrew. I really appreciate it. Zintas, again, thank you so much. That's a lot. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Zintas. And Andrew as well. Thank you so much. Royce is shooting with confidence. 4 for 7 from 3. If Royce shoots that 3 like this with confidence, the Jazz are they're unguardable, to be honest. Because what happens? You have Donovan Mitchell. You go double team Donovan Mitchell. You force the ball out of hands. Swing it to Mike Conley. Defense rotates to Mike Conley. You've got people scrambling. Swing it over to Bojan Bogdanovic. You've got the center that goes out to contest the shot. That means the paint's open. So the guy guarding Royce dives to the paint. That means Royce O'Neal's wide open. Kick it to Royce. If he's burying that wide open 3, money. And it was happening tonight. Royce shooting the 3 with confidence and hitting it is big time. And you hope that Royce is just building that confidence. He's a really good shooter. He really is. On offense, all Royce really has to do, although he sometimes does some nice things driving to the hoop, but for the most part, he just needs to hit those wide open spot up threes. Tonight, he took 7 of them. That's fantastic. He hit 4, and that's a big time thing that will win the series for the Jazz. The Tia Cheat Band, thank you for subscribing to the channel, my friend. Steven Zintis says, Stephen A says the finals will be in SLC. Guess what, Stephen A? I know that you said something, and thank you for the comments, Zintis. Thank you again, guys, for the donations. I appreciate it so much. It helps the channel a ton. Helps me out a ton, to be honest. Stephen A might be having to go to... we're going to have Stephen A go to family home evening or something. Make his night better. Or something like that. Or someone's going to have to take Stephen A on a hike. Introduce Stephen A to the Alpine Slide, or come on, get some church ball with Stephen A, or let's go on a ghost hunt with Stephen A, or let's figure out some fun things in Utah that maybe he hasn't done in his life before. Stephen A, welcome to Crown Burger, baby. Time to go to Crown Burger. Enjoy a Crown Burger in Salt Lake City. All right, Trolley Wing Co., the best wing place on the planet. Stephen A, try it out. You'll like it. By the way, guys, if you go to, and you're obviously not sponsored by Trolley Wing, it's my favorite restaurant in Salt Lake City. It's not, I mean, I guess restaurant. It's my favorite place to go eat. Go get the sweet and spooky wings. Tell them James Hansen from the Hoops Nerd channel sent you. And they won't know who that is, but it's the October Halloween flavor. Chipotle raspberry. It's really good. Really good. Trolley Wing Co. Anyways, Stephen A needs to go to Trolley Wing Co. and check it out. Check it out. All right. Yes. Austin R. Grant, give him some fry sauce for reals. Some fry sauce. Some fry sauce. You know, get your fry sauce, Stephen A, because you might be eating a lot of it come finals time. But anyways, like you guys said, Royce O'Neal hitting big time shots is a big deal. Bojan Bogdanovic hitting big shots. And really, you've just got to give so much credit to Mike Conley. In 35 minutes, he goes 8 for 16 from the field. Like we said, 70% from 3. 100% from the free throw line. He was taking shots from Dillon Brooks, reacting perfectly. Nothing was going to happen or phase him. If anything, it just charged him up. And the Jazz won. There's one thing that's driving me crazy. This is now 2 games in a row where Quinn's played Rudy Gobert for 35 minutes. Why? Why, Quinn? Why? When Rudy Gobert is on the floor, great things happen. Tonight he was a plus 14. The Jazz end up winning by 10, but guess what? We could probably just have made this a little easier on ourselves if we're playing Rudy Gobert 38 to 40 minutes per game. I know it's like 3 minutes, but it really matters. There are stretches where you have the Grizzlies with Derek Favors on the floor that they just attack incessantly. And Rudy Gobert doesn't just help on the defensive end. He's opening things up on the offensive end too. And I don't want to rag on Derek Favors. Derek Favors has played fine, and I'm glad we're keeping Derek at like 12 minutes. But I really want to see Rudy Gobert playing 38 minutes a game. I really do. I know it's 3 minutes, but come on. It's 3 minutes. That changes everything. If you have a bigger swing, you're not having so much heartache at the end of the game. The Jazz were down by 2 near the end of the game. And that's the big story of this. The Jazz were down by 2. They got punched in the mouth. They were on the ropes like Muhammad Ali. And guess what? They were on the ropes, shook their heads, and they bounced back and they punched them and knocked them back. They punched him and knocked him back. Donovan Mitchell hit big-time threes. Rudy Gobert blocked Ja Morant. By the way, anyone go to the Zach Lowe podcast and listen to that first segment? All he talked about was Ja Morant's missed dunk. In the thing, he literally said, credit to Rudy Gobert that he actually blocked it, but let's talk about Ja Morant for 20 minutes. What? Rudy Gobert destroyed him. And guess what? With the game on the line, Ja Morant went at Rudy Gobert again, and guess what happened? He blocked it. It's what happens. It's what Rudy Gobert does. He is the best defensive player on the planet. He's the best defensive player I've ever seen. He is doing these things in the spread ball modern basketball era. He is the best defensive player I've ever seen. He's incredible. Give him the credit. Alexander, welcome. Thank you. Ashnemnem. Thank you. Ryan Smith. Is that the owner of the Jazz? Maybe. Ryan, tell Quinn to play Rudy more. Please, Ryan. Please. Zach Lowe. Change your ways. I'm gonna get preaching here like a preacher on the mount, Sermon on the Mount, Sermon on the Basketball Mount here. Be thou more aware of Rudy Gobert's greatness, for it came to pass in the book of Jazz Basketball, chapter 4, verse 22. Thou hast sinned against the basketball world by challenging Rudy Gobert on the mount. When thou goest against Rudy Gobert on the mount, thou art not brave. Thou art not courageous. Thou art a fool. For Rudy Gobert is the answer to all the Jazz questions on defense. He is the answer for all those that would seek entry into the heavens of basketball, the basketball kingdom. If thou doest it, it is sin. Thou will find yourself below the ground. Do not do it, for Rudy Gobert is blessed by the basketball gods. No more listening to Zach Lowe this series, apparently, because if his thing is that Ja Morant's bravery is something we got to talk about for challenging Rudy Gobert, then someone made a comment online that was incredible. Then I hope Zach Lowe talks about me deciding to go on a fist fight with the grizzly bear or a cougar or jump the fence in the zoo to fight the gorilla. Because if I do those things, then I look really stupid. But if you challenge Rudy Gobert at the rim, apparently it's brave. No, it is stupid. If you jump into the cage and attack the raptor in Jurassic Park, it doesn't make you brave. It makes you dumb. All right? It's not brave. Rudy Gobert is the greatest defensive player we've ever seen, and it makes me lose my mind to hear someone speak about him this way, to just nonchalantly dismiss something that Rudy Gobert did that literally destroyed that shot at the rim. Ja Morant's tried it multiple times, and guess what? Each time, rejected. Each time. Forget about it. Forget it. Just had to get that off my chest, guys. I just had to get that off my chest because it's insanity. It's insanity. Do not attack Rudy Gobert. It's not brave. It's not smart. This is what happens, and you lose the game. Manscaped 2027, and it came to pass. Rudy blocketh the shot. Yes, Austin. I agree. Guys, Rudy Gobert is the defensive player of the year, by the way. He's the best defensive player I've ever seen. He will block all the shots. All the haters are finding out. Has anyone seen Rudy Gobert getting played off the floor in this series, by the way? The thing that the Nationals all say? I have not seen it. So if you think that Rudy Gobert is getting played off the floor, you're nuts. All right, guys. That's all I got tonight. That was an incredible game by the Jazz. They have been incredible. They have shown that with Donovan Mitchell on the floor, they're absolutely electric. It is a shame that in game one, because of a stupid health team employee, they didn't win the game, but they'd be 3-0 right now if they didn't have that. You know, they'd have it. So, guys, this is incredible. I feel this rush. Oh, guys. Make sure that if you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. And right now, actually, I almost forgot. Oh, it's been too good this series, guys. We got to pull up our All-Stars. Let's see. Crud. Guess what, guys? This is me doing the equivalent of attacking Rudy Gobert at the rim. All right, let's give a shout out to our All-Stars, the ones who make it all happen. These are the big time players of the Hoops Nerd channel. These are the ones that make it happen. A shout out to Zintis, our newest one, and thank you again for the donation, Zintis. Ezekiel Racibe, JT Buckets Wortel, Austin R. Grant, Eric C. C's for Champion, Kelsey Hamer, the Hammer, Donald Schooley, schooling us all, Cody Strickland, Strictly the Best, Super Mitt Robach, DW to CB, Darren Williams, to Carlos Boozer, Jorge Arrizaga, mi amigo de abajo, Lee Christensen, shout out to Lee, driving home safely, Shan Therick, my guy, Ryan Perry, the legend, Justin Ty H, Justin Time, Patrick Akubo, my buddy, Robert Hall, my buddy from the gifts from Twitter, and DW Jazz going all the way. Guys, The Jazz are now up 2-1. Donovan Mitchell, in a lot of ways, is getting a chance to play himself back into game shape. I think really that's what's going on here. Is all you haven't played for a month and a half. That's enough time to, like, fall out of that mode you have to be in for playing basketball. So him playing 25 to 29 minutes is not the same as Rudy Gobert. Donovan Mitchell is going to get back into that game shape, and he showed it tonight. Like at the end of the game, he's still got it, baby. I mean, and ones at the rim, big time threes, hitting his free throws, kicking it out to shooters. Fantastic stuff. I just want to check. Donovan Mitchell tonight had 5 assists. That's big time stuff. That's like spreading the ball. That's bending the defense and then finding the open shot. It's incredible. Anyways, guys, I lost my mind tonight. I'm a little like shooketh with the basketball gods tonight. Let's just hope that the basketball gods smile upon the Utah Jazz in their next game. And let's hope that the Nationals become, they get a little bit of a reckoning of what the Utah Jazz bring. Guys, if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. Thank you to all the new subscribers today. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you want to, you can join the chat. Just join the channel. Also, we have weekly or monthly Q&As. We're going to have 2 this month because the last one not a lot of people were able to go to. But Sunday with the All-Stars, we're going to have our Q&A chat where we just talk, and it's fun. And I feel like, David, welcome to the channel. Star Force, welcome to the channel. So it's really fun. It's weird. When it's not weird, it's just crazy. I feel like I have like all these new friends that we just hang out and talk about the Jazz. It's really fun. We're gonna have to do a Hoops Nerd night one of these nights. Let's go to Trolley Winco and I'll get sweet and spooky. It's really good. Anyways, guys, like and subscribe. Make sure you share your friends. Hit the like button. Do all the things. Go buy a Manscaped, by the way. If you've been thinking about one, and I know you've seen the ads, go get it. It's 20% off, free shipping, and it would help me out a ton. Go do that, and maybe we'll earn me my contract. Right now, I'm Mie Aoni. I'm playing for a contract, baby. So go get one if you haven't. If you're thinking about it, you don't have to, but if you've been thinking about it, go do it. 20% off. Father's Day gift for somebody. Although that might make your relationship with your father strange. No, who are we talking about? It's not strange. Do it. Anyways, guys, like and I got time to end the show. All right, time to end the show. Talk to you next time.